Welcome back to Visenia's Sanctuary. In this video, we're not just looking at the raw profit from crops. We'll also take a look at what the highest values are for the mason jar, keg, bee house, and the aging barrel. Keep in mind, all the values I show here are the base prices. With higher quality crops and farming perks, you can earn even more than what you'll see in these breakdowns. Spring is the best time to get your farm off to a good start. Let's take a look at the crops that give the best profits, both raw and processed. At Town Rank F, your best raw crop are potatoes. Potatoes take 5 days to grow and sell for 75 each. If you are keen on processing crops for maximum profit, put your potatoes in the mason jar and the keg. Grow some daisies to put in the bee house, and grow some peonies to put in the aging barrel. Even at the lowest rank, processing makes a big difference. At Town Rank E, cucumbers become the best option. Processed options for this rank are radishes in the mason jar, keg and aging barrel, and poppies in the bee house. Once you reach Town Rank D, you will unlock the sugarcane, which is the best raw crop for this rank and the future ranks. If you would like to do some processing, you can get some strawberries and put them in the mason jar or aging barrel. You can put your sugarcanes in the keg and grow some poppies for the bee house. For Town Ranks C, B, A and S, the only difference with Rank D is that you can now put snowdrops in the bee house for more profit. To summarize, early spring profits come from potatoes and cucumbers. Then you want to transition into sugarcane. Processing really is key. Mason jars and kegs give solid boosts, and aging barrels provide the highest payouts. Keep in mind that aging barrels are locked behind farming level 10, so you won't be able to process your items in them until you unlock them. You do receive one aging barrel via mail in your first spring. Summer brings new crops and big profits. Let's see which ones are worth planting raw and which you should process to maximize your earnings. At Town Rank F, hot peppers are your best raw crop. Processing gives you extra profit. You can put your hot peppers in the mason jar, grow some wheat and put it in the keg, grow a couple gardenias, put them in the bee house and the aging barrel. At Town Rank E, radishes take the lead. You can still put your gardenias in the bee house, but now you want to put radishes in your mason jar and keg. Lastly, you can grow melons to put in your aging barrel. Once you reach Town Rank D, you are able to plant the best crops for profit in summer. Pineapples are the best raw crop, which you can also process in the mason jar and keg. Lilies are great to put in your bee house and aging barrel. Once you reach the higher town ranks, kegs and barrels should be the core of your farm strategy to get the maximum profit. To summarize summer, start with hot peppers and radishes, then move on to pineapples. Processing is key. Mason jars and kegs give solid boosts, and aging barrels provide the highest payouts. Fall opens up a whole new set of profitable crops. Let's see which ones are worth planting raw and which ones you should process to maximize your earnings this season. At Town Rank F, orchards are the top raw crop, selling for 130 each. Processing boosts profit. You can put cranberries in the mason jar, rice in the keg, and put your orchards in the bee house and aging barrel. At Town Rank E, pumpkins take the lead as best raw crop. But the processing stays the same as with Rank F. Put cranberries in the mason jar, rice in the keg, and use orchards for the bee house and aging barrel. Rank D unlocks lily as the top raw crop. Your processing options are similar to the previous ranks. Put cranberries in the mason jar, rice in the keg, put your lilies in the bee house, but this time you can put blue dahlias in the aging barrel. Town Rank C is very similar to Town Rank D. Lilies remain the best raw crop, and you can still process cranberries in the mason jar, rice in the keg, lilies in the bee house, but now you want to put fairy roses in the aging barrel. At the higher ranks, rank B, A and S, lily is still the top raw crop, and processed options become even more lucrative. In the mason jar, you can still process cranberries. The keg is still really good for rice, but now you want to look into growing cactus so you can put them in the bee house and the aging barrel. By now, kegs and barrels should be central to your farming strategy. To summarize fall, you start with orchards and pumpkins, and then transition into lilies. Processing is key. Mason jars and kegs give solid boosts, and aging barrels provide the highest payouts, especially at the higher town ranks. Winter slows things down on your farm, but there are still a few crops worth growing to keep your profits steady. Let's see what's available and how to get the most out of your winter harvest. At town ranks F, E and D, there aren't any crops available to grow, so your focus will be on planning for spring or maintaining your existing processed goods. From town rank C onwards, cotton is the best raw option, and some processing options are available. Unfortunately, there's nothing for the mason jar, but you can put tea leaves in the keg, snowdrops in the bee house, and then snowdrops in the aging barrel. Even with these limited crops, processing can give a solid boost to your winter profits. To summarize winter, cotton is your primary crop, and processing in kegs or using the bee houses is how you maintain farm income during the slower season. Even in winter, smart processing keeps your profits steady. The greenhouse lets you grow crops all year long, giving you a huge advantage for steady and high profits. However, you will have to complete all seasonal offerings to unlock said greenhouse. Now that you have unlocked it, let's see which crops are worth planting and how to lay out your greenhouse for maximum earnings. One of the best ways to maximize your greenhouse profits is by unlocking the computer and placing it on your farm. Once you have access to it, you can purchase any seed in the game, regardless of your town rank. This means you don't have to wait to unlock higher rank crops. You can start planting high profit favorites like strawberries, pineapples, sugarcane or cactus right away. For your greenhouse, this is a game changer. You can fill every tile with the most lucrative crops, process them in kegs, mason jars, bee houses or aging barrels, and create a steady year-round income. Personally, I like to have a mix of strawberries, cactus and fruit trees in my greenhouse. And there you have it, the best crops to grow all year round, for each town rank. Which crops are your favorites to grow? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and for now, happy gaming!